Bruce, thanks for your question. There's a couple of different things that I want you to focus on in your takeaway with square to square, especially with the driver. Always maintain proper posture. Make sure your fundamentals are good. Make sure your spacing from the ball is good. If you get too close, the club wants to tend to come outside. If you get too far away from it, the club's going to want to go inside. So make sure that you've got that nice even spacing. I call 4 spread fingers from your pant line, from your zipper line, is a good spot to start. And then from there, make sure your ball position's good, okay? Now on the takeaway, so much of the takeaway is setup. If you've got a proper setup, if you're over the ball properly, if you've got proper knee flex, proper bend at the hips, and your back is in a good position, nice and straight, or you can have it a little rounded. There's a lot of guys who play really well with rounded shoulders, and that's fine too. But make sure that you have a nice consistent position, but consistent spacing. And then from there, what I want you to do is on the first move back, everything kind of comes together as one. So as I take this back, I'll demonstrate this way. As I take this back, my hips and my shoulders, my chest, my hips are moving all together as one. Now at some point, my hips stop, okay? Right there at hip high, that club should match this face right here. The top line of your driver should match the angle of your spine. So if you're in proper position and you take that back down the line, as you rotate it back, that driver head should be, the face of it should be at the same angle as your spine, okay? That's not shut, okay? That is shut. That's not shut. That is square to the arc. That is open to the arc. So we want it square to the arc. That's right there. Now, how you take it back is completely individual to how you feel more comfortable. There are 3 different ways to set the club. You can be a set right off the ball and then rotate up. You can be what's called a swing setter, where you take the club back and as you're swinging it back, the club sets itself. You can set it that way, or a mid set. And then what Jack Nicklaus used to do, what I did playing late was, what I did was called a late set. So you drag the club back and then it'd set way here up at the top, and that's where I would set the club at the top. So I would wait late. Nicklaus did it. Tiger, I'd say, early in his career, before the first Butch changes, he was more of a mid set. I'd say that when he made the changes with Butch, he became more of an early setter of the club. You look at guys like Sang Moon Bae. He's a set right off the ball type of guy. So it's what's more comfortable for you as a player. Some teachers will teach a certain way to set the club, but I prefer to let the student decide what's more comfortable for them. So those are the 3 ways that you can take the club back. But either way, no matter what you do with that set, you want to make sure, the biggest thing is everything rotates together as one on the way back, okay? Hip, shoulders, arms, and at hip high, whether you're setting it early, setting it mid, or setting it late, like I do, where it's pretty flat still right here, that face angle matches your spine angle. And if you have a good spine angle, your face angle is going to be good. If you're too much like this, that might be a little bit much. Obviously, too tall is like this, and you're not going to be able to get the club, you're not going to be able to have enough room to swing the club. So right in the middle is where you want that thing, and that's square to the line, square to the arc, I should say, square to the arc of your swing, and that's what's going to give you the best opportunity to hit the ball the straightest. I'll go ahead and demonstrate. So good posture, good ball position, good alignment. Good results. So make sure, that's the biggest key right there. The face matches your spine angle at hip high. Bruce, is a little add-on to what I was talking about with your set, okay? What you want to do, or the takeaway, to get used to setting the club properly and taking the club away properly, take your wedge. This is my 54-degree wedge. Just take your wedge and work on small swings. So work on basically hip high to there, and this is going to be a no, like a late set, but you're not going to take it all the way back to the top. So you're basically going to hit a pitch shot. So no set. Okay, no set. and then a swing set, which would be the middle one, a swing set. So it's going to be to there. So the club's already kind of cocked, ready to go, okay? Swing set. And then an early set. So I set that one right off the ball. Now, there is a difference between the three, and they do produce different consistencies. If you ask most teachers, and if you asked Jim Flick or Dick Altman, who came up with square to square, if you ask those guys what is the most consistent, they would probably tell you, that it would be the early set. That one is the most inconsistent is actually the late set for a striker. So an early set with a rotation is going to be the most consistent. A swing set is going to be right in the middle, and it depends on the player, obviously, and how you're unloading the golf club, which is a different story. And then after that, the late set is going to be the least amount of consistency. So let me go over that one more time. So to practice this, you can find out for yourself which one feels the best to you at hip high, okay? The no set or the late set, okay? The swing set or the mid set, which is kind of a combination of the early set and the late set. And then the early set, which is the one I'm the least comfortable with because I never did it. I was taught it at one point, but it felt really awkward to me, so I never did it. So the early set, the clubs come basically setting right off the get-go. So those are the three. Play with them, figure them out before you go to the driver and start ripping the driver. Test it with the wedges, work your way through the set. Always start with the short irons, work your way up to the drivers, see which one is more comfortable for you, and then go out and test it on the golf course and see which one you have the most success with. You might be surprised on which one's the best one for you. Give that a shot. I hope it works.